Well, hello there, Space Monkeys. Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden, and in this episode, we're going to be doing the updates on PFC. I've got some things that are happening that are kind of exciting, letting you guys know some of the extra things I developed in the off season here. It's good to be back. I've already done 2 episodes today, one on Rockfin and one on Rumble. I'm going to be flipping those, and you'll see they're both things I can't talk about here on YouTube. One has to do with Schmeiber-Schmeckten and a new Journal of the American Medical Association study that got misinterpreted badly by a CNN pundit and spread all over. It's total misinformation. If you want to see my breakdown of that, go on Rumble. And then on Rockfin, I updated my episode that was on YouTube yesterday, but then I took it down. It's a little bit more spicy, this retake. I've got some extra jokes, rewritten jokes anyways, that I can't put on YouTube. I also talked a little bit about the boutique left in that one, and Aaron Mate's recent cudgeling of Vaush and Kyle Kalinske. So check that out on Rockfin. Now, first and foremost, I want to shout out to Sabrina Salvati, Sabby Sabs. She's going on Jimmy Dore's show tonight, so that is excellent. I just saw that, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to check that out. You guys should too. That's on 8 p.m. Eastern. And then I've been invited on JB's show, Jay Buffont, my good friend. I'll be going on his show on March 8th, more than likely, middle of the day, like sometime around 1 or 2 p.m. So I'll update you on that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys know, if you've been paying close attention to what I've been putting up lately, you'll notice that that is actually the same day I predict that Jimmy Dore will pass Kyle Kalinske in subs and Russell Brand will pass TYT in subs. So if we're lucky, JB and I are going to be celebrating that day, and we'll have lots to talk about, I'm sure. So even if they don't actually pass their respective, front runners that day, they will the day after that. So either way, we're going to have a very exciting conversation. You guys know I love JB. We're going to have a great conversation. Look forward to that as well. Now, I'd like to talk about something that Revolutionary Blackout Network got me thinking about the other day when I was watching an episode of theirs. They were talking about, is there any way that we can reconcile with the boutique left, the old left, as it were, meaning the TYTs of the world, the people that have more or less kind of adopted a lot of imperialist rhetoric and capitalist rhetoric and democratic reformation rhetoric? Is there any way we can, rebuild that bridge? And I touched on this briefly in my episode yesterday, but I'd like to go a little bit more in depth here. My answer to that is, if you ask me personally, me, Robert Durden, me, Sideshow Bob, I think, yes, we could actually work with those people, but I have certain criteria that those people would need to meet before I could trust them as honest actors again. And do I think any of them will actually do that? No, I don't think that they will. But I'm not closing off conversations with anybody. I never do that. That's not, as somebody who tries to follow my own rules of PFC, I don't like to close anybody out from a conversation, so long as I can guarantee that, or at least have a decent possibility that they're coming into the conversation in good faith. So my criteria for me wanting to even talk to people like that about the leftist movement is that they have to come out and show me that they can use their enormous platforms, these enormous channels that have some 5 million subs or 1 million subs or whatever, to leverage the squad to do what they campaigned on. So I've said this for months, basically since the inception of PFC. If they come out on their shows and they say, sorry guys, the Justice Democrats have been an abysmal failure. We are sorry that we propped them up for so long, but here's what we're going to do now. We're going to convince our viewers to stop voting for them and to stop donating to them so that we can leverage them in a way that we can maybe force the squad to do some things that they campaigned on. If you had somebody like TYT or Kyle Kalinske, who are both founders of the Justice Democrats, coming out publicly and saying no more donations to the squad, that would be something that we would all run with. It would be an enormous blow to the squad and their donation apparatus. Maybe you get their attention if you do that. Maybe if you do that, you get Nina Turner to change her tune going into her congressional run right now in terms of donations. If they did that, I would welcome them back with open arms, because I could see that they were actually trying to do something to inspire change, but they don't do that. They go out and they run with capitalist, imperialist narratives. They indeed will smear protests and activists like crazy. Have you guys noticed this? They will smear something like the trucker convoy as like it's Charlottesville. That's what Ryan Grimm did. He literally falsely equated the trucker convoy, which is a diverse group of people who, yes, they have some Trumpists and alt-righters attending, but they try to smear it like it's a whole bunch of white supremacists with tiki torches saying the Jews will not replace us. That's not what the trucker convoy is. They're not defending a Confederate monument and chanting in the night with torches. They're out there parking their trucks protesting vaccine mandates, which, by the way, are authoritarian and fascist. So I don't like that they're being falsely equated like that. And this is what the boutique left does, is they will rhetorically act like they're for an outside game or protests or direct action. But when the rubber meets the road, they will come out and they will smear these movements or these uprisings, these protests, as if they're all a bunch of crazy right-wingers. And they do even worse than that, guys. Hassan Piker recently came out and said that a bunch of the truckers deserve to be beaten by police. Just a baby bit of police brutality, he said, for honking their horns because that's hella annoying, according to Hassan. So these people cannot be worked with if that's what they're doing. They're not only standing in the way of progress, they're actively hindering it. They're actively pushing back against it, whilst going on their shows and pretending like they care about the leftist movement. They are nerfing the movement, and therefore I can't work with them until they show me that they're willing to do exactly the opposite of that in their behaviors. They have to use their platforms not just to spew rhetoric, because anybody can go out there and be a fake socialist and pretend. They have to actually show me that they're willing to do something to leverage the squad. And it would be nice if they would promote something that they have previously smeared. Like, did they promote the Force the Vote? No, most of these channels were actively smearing Force the Vote, right? They didn't promote the General Strike Summit. They didn't promote the March for Medicare for All. I could go on and on and on. And in all of those cases, these people actively went out and smeared those attempts. Does that sound like somebody we can work with? Meet in the middle with? No. These people are not leftists. They're not socialists. They are grifters who use the leftist socialist label to make money. And when it comes down to actually moving the goalpost to the left, or actually forcing the hand of politicians, or actually getting in the face of people that are standing in the way, they won't have anything to do with that. And at worst, they'll go out and actually advocate for police brutality against protesters, for instance. So I don't think we can work with that, people. I don't think we can work with those, the people that are wolves in sheep's clothing for all intents and purposes. So you guys let me know, what is your criteria? Leave some comments below. What would it take for you to change your mind about TYT and Grimm and all these other faux lefties who basically are rhetorically more or less acting socialist, except for, of course, their imperialist tendencies, which all of these, Hassan, even Kalinsky now, certainly TYT, are all, and Ryan Grimm are all imperialists. What would it take for us to be able to work with them again in your mind? You guys let me know. Or is it too far gone? Even if they were to change their tune and start promoting activists, get-togethers and movements and summits and stuff like that, and started calling out the squad and asked us to stop donating to them, is that not enough? So you guys let me know. That's kind of my criteria, and I wanted to come out here and let you guys know, updates on PFC. I am back. I've done 3 videos today, but most of the stuff is going to be on Rockfin and Rumble, so go find me on Rockfin and Rumble if you want to see my spicier takes and anything that has to do with COVID, Schmeiver Schmeckton, Julian Assange, the CIA. All of that stuff is going to be on Rockfin, more than likely. So, and also, go check out Sabby Sabs tonight. That's going to be a wonderful episode with Jimmy Dore. I can't wait. They're both growing like crazy. And as you guys know, Jimmy Dore is outside of little piggy Kyle's hut right now, huffing and puffing. He's about to blow Kyle's house down and pass him in subs within about the next 12 to 13 days. And again, if things hold, we might get lucky, and on March 8th, the same day I go on JB's show, Jimmy will pass Kyle in subs, and Russell Brand will pass TYT in subs, which is what I predicted all last season, even though I missed. I thought it would be somewhere around New Year's. It just took a little bit longer than I expected. But they're both breaking the algorithm. They both put out great content, so they absolutely deserve to pass the propagandists who are right in front of them. So I'm very excited for that show with JB, and I'm excited for Savvy's show with Jimmy tonight. Go catch all of that stuff. Keep fighting that good fight out there, guys. I love you.